Hello, Taurus. I'm Love from a Leo. Welcome to the Lion's Den, aka my room. Uh, so yeah, I'm just gonna jump right in and give you guys this reading. I was just feeling like I wanted to do another reading for you guys, so that's what I'm doing. Yeah. We're going to do the obvious past, present, and future spread that we always do. But I'm also going to use the Zodiac Oracle card deck. And we're going to get a little bit more in depth with who may be coming to you, what energy you may be having, maybe what energy you need to embody, and etc. Okay? So we can just make sure this is... We have the 9 of Wands that popped out for you guys. So some of you guys are maybe feeling like you don't have everything that you need. But this is a time where you do have everything you need. You just need to go out there and put the work in. You literally have everything that you would need to execute whatever you're trying to execute, okay? So don't doubt yourself, okay? Use this time to really feel empowered, okay? And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start your reading in just a second. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. We also have the Will card in reverse. So some of you guys are going to be going through some changes. They might not be as fun. I got this card popped out for Leo as well, so you might want to go check out their video if you would like to see if anything matches up if you're dealing with Leos in your life as well, okay? And this reading is for Sun, Moon, and Rising Tauruses, okay? So if this doesn't, this is a general reading, so if it doesn't resonate with your situation, maybe go check out my other videos that align with your Moon, Sun, or Rising as well, okay? Alrighty, Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Alright. Okay, so a lot of air energy in your spread already, okay? So the base of your, the base of the energy of the overall reading is right now is the Devil card in reverse, okay? So maybe you're indulging too much into something, whether this be work, whether this be a person, an addiction, whatever you're putting too much focus on, or maybe you're embodying Capricorn-like instincts and it's being too much for you, as far as like workaholic or just not bad. There's something that's overriding something else and it's causing you to not be the best all around that you can be, okay? So if you have an addiction or if you have something that's taking a lot of distraction from you, make sure you're clear on that so you can kind of fix that and work on that, okay? All right, so for your past energy, we have the High Priestess in reverse, okay? Now this is her upright. The High Priestess is very, very smart. But she's learned things throughout her own experiences, okay? So generally when people have this card, this means to me either you knew something was up and you still chose to make the wrong decision, or if it could also be a time where you learned a lesson, a valuable lesson that you can carry on throughout your life, okay? So since this is in reverse, I feel like you guys had some red flags about things with the situation that went wrong in your most recent situation, but I also feel like you weren't taking your instinct. She's also very instinctual, so whatever you're feeling, it's kind of like go with that. Don't think about what it could have been. Don't think about what it was, because she's all about living in the now, and she teaches you that whatever you're dealing with now is what you need to deal with, okay? So it's kind of like don't let someone show you their colors more than once type of thing, okay? So I don't think this is extremely bad, but I do feel like this situation that ended, or maybe you're still going through it, I do feel like you know exactly what that issue is, and whether, I think maybe you're feeling like, can I still fix it, or maybe or you just don't really know what to do, but use your instincts, okay? So if you're into meditation or anything like that, use that power that you have. It's free. It's literally you just going in within yourself, and really figure out what that issue is if you can't just, you know, off the top of your head know what it is, okay? And then for your present card, and we'll go through clarifications as I go along, okay? So for your present card, we have the Knight of Swords, and he's pretty smart. Again, I feel like I get this card a lot with a lot of people because I feel like a lot of people go through that stage in their life, or they embody that character where it's like you kind of know what you need to do. The issue comes when you're either rushing in too quick, or you're not necessarily looking at all the aspects that, or the outcomes that could come out from a certain situation, which is totally fine. It's in upright, okay? So that means that maybe some of you guys are on the right path. You really are looking at everything that needs to be assessed. But I don't think you guys have made a movement yet. I don't think you guys have made a decision per se. I think you're kind of weighing out your options. You're seeing what's going on. And again, when we do clarification, I'm sure I can get more in depth with that, okay? But for your future card, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse, okay? So it's interesting that we have the Knight of Swords in present time right now. So you guys are kind of picking through what's going on mentally, okay? But in your future, you have the Ace of Swords in reverse. So to me, that makes me feel like you either can't figure out the decision you want to make, you don't know what needs to be cut out, you don't know what needs to stay, or this could mean you did make your decision, but it wasn't in the best intent for yourself. So maybe you're making this decision based off of the outside world instead of looking in here and in here and figuring out what's the best and most strategic, next move for you to make, okay? So we're going to see a little bit more what's going on with the situation. So for the High Priestess, your past energy, let me just see if anything comes out. So what is this High Priestess for? In reverse for Taurus. What caused this for Taurus? What caused this energy for Taurus to come about? Yes. So we have the King of Swords in reverse, okay? The King of Swords is probably one of the most intelligent of the arcana. If not him, then it would have to be the Queen of Swords. He's very logical. He's literally like, okay, you have this guy who is either him as his teenage self, or this is like his son. So this one is not as polished. So he kind of has that gift for kind of looking into things and seeing what's what. But King of Swords is always on time. He's always he executes things very, very well. He's very strategic and he knows when to attack. He's very methodical in his thoughts, okay? And confident as well. I don't want to leave that out. But with it being in reverse, I feel like some of the reason that you have the High Priestess in reverse is because you knew. Remember I said that the High Priestess is like knowing things from experience or knowing things after it happens. It was in reverse. So I did feel like you guys knew the red flags. And then this is like confirmation because we have the King of Swords in reverse, okay? And this is generally a person who is definitely on his shit. He knows what he needs to do. He knows what's next. He knows what to do if what the first plan goes wrong. So with him being in reverse, I do feel like you guys were just not thinking straight. You guys were not making the best decisions for yourself that could be beneficial to you. And we all go through that. It could just be, sometimes it really is just kind of like this innocent thing that you did and you didn't realize how fucked up it would leave you in the process. But for a lot of you, I do think that you guys knew exactly what was going on, but I think you guys were kind of feeling like either I can fix this or I'm just gonna let it play out on its own because I don't want to have to get my hands dirty and work on that because I have my own things that I have to deal with, okay? So if that's your past energy, so we're gonna see what clarification on present for this Knight of Swords for Taurus, this current energy. What is this Knight of Swords? Knave of Swords. I'm sorry, you guys. Knave of Swords. Knave of Swords for Taurus. What is that all about? What caused that? I'm waiting for it to pop out, guys. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. We have a lot. So, 1 second, you guys. Okay, so first we have this card. This is the King of Pentacles in reverse. The King of Pentacles this is you guys. This is literally your card, okay? This is Taurus. You can see his like scepter thing in the back has the Taurus bulls and everything. This guy completely embodies what Taurus is. You guys are going to go after whatever you want, and it's going to come. You're going to obtain that because you don't allow any obstacles to get in your way. Very determined, very go-getter attitude. Okay. So that was in reverse. So for your present energy, I'm thinking the reason why this came about, why you are in this mood, is because you're trying to figure out, you're trying to gain that momentum to have that go-getter mentality, whether it be to go get that person you want, to go get the job you want, the situation to turn out in your favor, whatever it is. I do think that the reason that we have the Knave of Swords is because you were trying to make a decision, but the reason you're still trying to make a decision is because you're not so determined right now. I feel like you're kind of like, instead of feeling like let's go get it, you're kind of like, wait, what is it that I actually want to get? You know what I mean? Okay, so, and then we also have 5 cards come out for you guys at the same time. Okay, so then after that we have the Queen of Pentacles. This one is like, to me, this reminds me of Virgo. Okay, so a very smart person, a very she's about her money, but at the same time she's smart enough to know which battles to pick and choose. Okay, so with that being said, after that comes the Fool card. So a journey, being in the right place that you need to be is right now. Wherever you're at right now is where you need to be, and where you're at right now is trying to figure out what's going on, which is fine. And you're trying to figure out what is it that you need, what is it that you want. Yeah, so then after that we have the 8 of Pentacles, and this is working hard steadily. Obviously, there's a lot of earth energy with this. And then we also have the 9 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so I don't think something is stressing you out, but I do think the fact that you can't just go out there and go get what you want, like that Taurus, mentality, like go out there and strive for it and get it. I think the fact that you're in your head and you're trying to figure out your plan is kind of throwing you off a little bit, because you're kind of like, I want to just go out there and get what I want. I want to do what I want. I want to do whatever it is that I want to do, which is fine. The only issue is, I feel like because you're waiting to figure out what it is that you actually want to do, or you're trying to figure out your plan, I think this is why in the future you'll have this Ace of Swords, okay? Because I think you might, not that you're going to move too fast, because I do think you guys are really trying to figure out what it is, but I think the fact that you're so used to just being like, fuck it, I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to do what I need to do to get what I want. And I feel like this situation involves a little bit more than just hard work. I feel like it does require a little bit of strategy, a little bit of timing, and then a little bit of luck, just like plain and simple. But if this has to do with love, this is completely up to you. You cannot control what anyone else does, but you know what you can do. And since we had this High Priestess, we know that the signs were already there. So it's kind of like, you know what you need to do. I think you're just trying to figure out if it's not, I feel like what you had or what you were going through, it's like you still want that, only because for selfish reasons. Like, you're like, I want this, and so I'm going to do what it takes. I'm going to try to figure out what it takes to have it the way I want it to be. But with that, it's like you already know the signs. You already know what's going on with it. So I feel like some of you guys are just like, well, fuck it. I'm still going to get what I want because I'm the bull. I'm going to knock anything out of my way that isn't supposed to be there, and I'm going to get what I want. But with that, it might not be the best decision for you to do that. For your mental, it's like it might not be as strategically beneficial for your soul. Does that make sense? Okay. Now I wanted to still do the Ace of Swords in reverse. I want to figure out what that's about, so we can kind of see what we can do about that, because you don't want that, because that means that you're like kind of, you don't know what is a distraction, you don't know what is good, and so that can be a really dangerous place. Okay, especially, it's just, girl. Okay, so Ace of Swords for Taurus. What causes Ace of Swords for Taurus, for the bull? Can you pop her, please? What causes Ace of Swords for Taurus? Excuse me, you guys. What caused this Ace of Swords for Taurus? We have the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups is a journey. It's going on a journey. It's usually a rare type of thing. I think I want to say I had this in you guys' reading. I'm not sure. Sorry if you guys didn't in your last reading. But the Ace of Cups is about having a rare journey that you need to take. You don't have to, but it's one of those things where it's like, okay, if you don't take this step now, then it's probably not going to come back until another blue moon or so. You know what I mean? So it's like something that kind of came out of the blue, and you didn't have to go for it, but you could have. And if you do, then the path that it goes on, it could end up either way that, you know, the universe wants it to. But the point of it is to go on the journey and learn and pick up different things and just kind of like gain more experience in life. But this is something that isn't just like an everyday thing, okay? So this is like, for example, I'm just putting something out there. If this was a job, let's say you've been living in one city for, you know, for most of your life, you know, graduated, went to school there, or maybe you're in school. We'll say you're in college, okay? And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, you get picked for some type of, I don't know, some show where you get to go and you fly out somewhere. But then you have to think, okay, well, do I want to stay in school, or do I want to go on this crazy adventure where it may lead me nowhere? And, you know, I have to stop school for a little bit, so that's going to push that back. But do I want to go out there and see what, you know, what else is out there, whether it leads me in a good way or in a bad way? So then that's those type of journey. It's kind of like a wild card, you know, but with that, you have a whole path, you have a whole journey to go on. It isn't just like something quick. This is something it can be transformative for you. It can be something that leads you in a dark way. This is those moments where, those type of journeys that can lead people into a good path or a bad path, but you don't know until you try, okay? So those times where you're like, I don't know how she ended up like that. She was a straight A student, this and this and that, and now she's, you know, doing nothing, and you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. It's like something sparked that to where they went this way while the others were going that way. And it doesn't mean it's bad, but it does mean you learn a lot. And then if you get caught up in stuff, then sometimes it does end up in a bad way. But it doesn't mean that just because you take this this leap of faith, so to speak, that it's going to be terribly wrong, okay? But I do think, because I asked, you know, what caused this card to be, you know, in reverse? Like, what is causing you to not know what to cut out and what to keep in? But it's because I feel like you're still going on this journey. And I feel like you're still trying to find your bearings and trying to, like, plant your feet before you try to make a decision. But then for some of you have made a decision without clearly having all of your bearings and without knowing what it is that you're actually stepping into, okay? But as the bull, I have no worries or doubts that you guys won't be able to, you know, like, get what you want. Because like I said, the bull pushes through any obstacles that it has. So it's kind of like you guys have that advantage of going and doing stuff that may be a little out of the way for, I don't know, like Capricorn. Capricorns are like, they kind of have a set path that they need to go, or else it ends up bad. You know, Taurus, I feel like you guys can kind of go through all this stuff, go through more weird things and more crazy things, but still kind of come out on top. It's going to be a fight, you know, with you doing it. But I do think that you guys can push through some of the things that could stop a lot of other signs, okay? Okay, so now I have the Zodiac Oracle card. It's beautiful. I'm going to be doing a video on it one of these days, so you guys can see more if you're into cards or decks or whatever. But yeah, so for this Oracle deck, this is how it looks like right here. And this helps, it has all the zodiac signs, all the planets, and then all of the elements. So it really can help, it can help me be more accurate with who's coming into your life, what to expect, and so on and so forth. Okay, so just in general, just to be nosy, I want to see what this past energy was. Who was it, or, you know, what caused you guys? Who is it that you're going through this bullshit with, basically? For most, okay? This might not be for everyone, but this is for the energy that's pulling the most, okay? So what caused this this past discretion with Taurus? With Taurus. Oh, okay. 1 second, y'all. Wow. Okay. So we have the Taurus card and the Aries card. So first one, let you guys see it. Now the Taurus card, it was in reverse, so I don't think this was you guys' fault. Then we have the Aries. So I think the person that this is dealing with, or maybe just the energy that it's going with, is Aries. So a lot of you guys may be dealing with Aries, which I can see how it can be a struggle to try to get stuff together with Aries. They're fiery. I mean, they're fire signs. And some of them can be a little, you know, all about them sometimes, as with a lot of fire signs. So I can definitely see if you guys get into some type of like disagreement or something goes wrong, I could see why it could be rocky to try to figure out, you know, how to fix it or which steps to take, okay? Now for your current energy, I want to see what type of energy that you need to possess in order for you to make the better decision for your future card, okay? Because I don't like to see that that Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay, let me see. What energy needs to be possessed in order for them to make the best decision for their future? We got Capricorn in reverse. Okay, so to me, this Capricorns are, let's see. And we did have the Devil, I believe, at the bottom, the base of the energy. So I think maybe loosen the reins a little bit. They're not risk takers. They're more like steady, steady, steady. Obviously, they're about working and obtaining abundance on Earth, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like that might be distracting you. And I think that might be the reason why you have this Ace of Swords in reverse. That's kind of like iffy, you know what I mean? So I think in order for you to make the best decision, don't think so much about work, or don't think so much about something that's taking more out of you than it should. So remember that imbalance we talked about? So if it's drugs, if it's alcohol, if it's I don't know, it could just be you having an issue with watching TV too much. Figure out what that is, that's kind of consuming or being something that's kind of tugging on you a little bit, and then don't think about how that's going to play in whatever decision you make, because when you do that, it might shift what actually is best for you. Okay, so if you have anything that's kind of drowning you down or something, make sure you're not making your decision based on that one thing, because your life is so much more than just that. Okay, so this could even be just a person in general. Maybe you have a Capricorn person in your life that means a lot to you, but this may not be the person you need to revolve this whole decision based on, because they might not be affected like you would. Okay, so yeah, and then I wanted to see which energy to take on. I mean, what energy is going to be had once you pick your decision in the future. So what is your energy going to be like? What is Taurus's energy going to be like after they make their decision in the future? Please and thank you. Decision in the future. We have Pisces in reverse. Okay. Yeah, and it's a water at the base. Okay, so definitely water energy. Now with this, I think that the whole reason that you need to go inside of yourself is because you need to figure out emotionally, how do you feel about what's going on. Okay, so it's kind of like going within yourself to figure out which way do you want to go. Okay, so being that the Pisces was in reverse, I do feel like, because Pisces are kind of like a team thing. It's kind of like they're the water signs who are kind of like, they're the fish, okay? So they kind of swim with each other. But I feel like in order for you to make the best decision, you can have that watery like energy, which like, you know, emotional, moving in and out, it changes, it adapts. But with that, I do think in order for you to make the best decision, or the energy that you are going to have after you make your decision, you're not going to be that, you're not going to have much Pisces. So with that being said, I do think you might be a little bit more on to yourself, or just maybe more comfortable with not having to have certain people around you. Okay, so maybe this decision might be taking away some people, but instead of you feeling lonely, you're gonna feel like that was the right decision, like I did what I needed to do. This also could mean that if you have a Pisces in your life, they may not be in your life pretty soon, or but I do think the other water signs, if you do have them, will stay around. So what's the other ones? Scorpio and Cancer. Okay, so I do think if you have those in your chart, or if you have those people around you, they'll be there. But I do think that Pisces energy is going to trail off a little bit after you make this decision. Okay, and then just for the overall advice, let's see, what do Taurus need to have as overall advice for them for these next 2 weeks, please and thank you. Okay, so we have the Leo card in reverse. So all of these are pretty much reversals, guys. Okay, so with the Leo card in reverse, this is telling me, I'm a Leo, so of course I know how I am, girl. But with Leo, sometimes the downfall with Leo is sometimes we can be a little too confident. I don't feel like we do it on purpose, but then again, I'm a Leo, so I'm probably not the best person to ask. But with Leos, it's either you love them or you hate them, okay? And being that we're lions, it's kind of like you're not gonna go up and pet a lion until you know if they're nice or if they're mean, right? But it's also we're also the type of sign, we're fixed or whatever. I believe you guys are fixed signs too. So like you guys know, like you're not gonna just be switching up for somebody else, okay? But that's totally fine if that's what she needs to do in the situation. But I think the point of it being Leo in reverse is to say, try not to be so prideful that you're not looking at everything else that's going on. So don't be too arrogant, don't be too confident in your decision, don't be too willing to dismiss someone, but also don't be so willing to be loyal to someone who doesn't deserve it, because Leos are also very loyal when it comes to like love and family. You know, so it's kind of like, I don't know, like probably possess a little bit more of this like adaptability with whatever your situation is, okay? So don't be so fixed on what it is that you feel like it needs to come out as. Like maybe this isn't about just you, is what I'm trying to say. This might be a thing that's involving a lot of more people, more than just yourself. So keep that in mind and try to make the best decision that will fit and will be beneficial to everyone else that it involves in the situation. But at the same time, make sure you're choosing the thing that makes you happy, okay? But just don't take out things just because it's not the perfect plan for what you want, okay? I hope that makes a lot of sense, you guys. Yeah, your reading, I believe, is finished, okay? So I hope that this resonated with you guys and really helps you guys for the next 2 weeks. I hope that everyone's, you know, doing well, and I hope March is wrapping up smoothly for you guys. If not, then just keep working and keep pushing, keep that Taurus mentality. Everything's going to be okay. And yeah, if I'm not your favorite Leo, I hope I will be one day, and I will see you, Taurus, in my next video. Bye.